brand new episode of Hum Tum Aur AI. Myself, Kaumudi Vaidya from Bharat CXO. We have with us today Mr. Lokesh Nigam. Hello, sir. How are you?
Very well. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. It's very great to have you today on board.
Thank you. Same here. It's great to be here as well.
Yes, sir. So, Mr. Lokesh is the founder and director at Cognos, a future-focused advisory and HR tech firm driving innovation in organization design, leadership development, and HR transformation. With over 25 years of consulting experience across BFSI, manufacturing, IT, and energy sectors, he is widely regarded as a thought leader in people and culture transformation. An engineer and MBA in HR from SIBM Pune, Sir is currently pursuing an executive fellowship in organizational behavior from XLRI Jamshedpur. His expertise spans strategic workforce planning, behavior science, and large-scale change interventions, with experience serving leading brands like Genpact, Mahindra, Kotak, Wipro, and Coca-Cola. Prior to Cognos, he had held leadership roles at PwC, KMPG, and AON Herbert, and co-founded Adient Advisory and Kairos Research. It's very nice to know about you, sir.
Thank you.
Perfect, perfect. So we will just start with our interview on AI. So firstly, I would like to ask you, how do you view the growing role of AI in especially HR tech and its potential impact on human capital management?
I think that's an interesting one. AI is actually virtually into every space now of our work and how organizations work, as well as how we are going to visualize both work and workplace as well as workforce in the future. So I think the most important point, which I think is important to consider when we look at human capital management, is looking at AI as the new infrastructure for human mind augmentation or decision making. How do we use this infrastructure in decision support and making sure that we are making more intelligent decisions when it relates to talent and when it relates to the workforce. Also, I think another important aspect is hyper personalization. So with AI we can actually visualize a lot of experience in the employee segment from a hyper personalization perspective, as well as a lot of intelligent automation of routine tasks. What needs to be visualized is that HR cannot now remain process centric. It is becoming more experience centric, and AI is actually playing a big role in in helping with that cause by being almost like an invisible layer. So AI is that invisible layer which is sensing, which is predicting, which is enabling, which is helping you take decisions and augmenting the experience of people, and that is how it is. But I think another important thing that HR leaders need to consider is how to make this whole approach more human centric, that rather than just data informed. So the issue is that a lot of times we use analytics and to take decisions, of course, and make things informed. But at the same time, can we now use AI for identifying the right behavior patterns, making the whole approach of managing human capital from a human centric point of view rather than just the data centric point of view? For example, when we are doing talent strategies, how can we use human AI collaboration better? That kind of paradigm is what we need to move into, and that shift in change is quite speedy and fast. So I think the better we adopt to some of these methodologies, the better for us.
Right, sir, absolutely. What a broad perspective on this. So, could you share an example on how AI has improved outcomes, particularly in talent acquisition or employee development?
Yeah, I think this is a good one. I think we are ourselves a conversational intelligence platform. So Converse AI is a psycholinguistic based a conversational intelligence platform, which actually the whatever I was talking about earlier, which is about talent decisions, for example. So in this case, when you ask about talent acquisition, it is quite natural that AI can help in augmenting the human recruiter to make right decisions. So for example, conducting the AI interviews, or taking the whole process of screening to finding out the right fit in the organization with AI, and in that sense augmenting the whole process. And that's what Converse AI does. For example, we have a client where we did the entire campus recruitment process of the organization across tens of NITs and over 2000 students in a week. So which was not possible earlier, right? So selecting the candidates within a week or two and making sure that they're joining the organization in a very short period of time adds immensely to the efficiency and reduces the effort drastically of, for example, not having to go anywhere and being able to identify the right fit with the AI interview is a huge, so almost like 80% efficiency on effort. You're making much less effort and much better decisions. So it is enabling good decision making as well as reducing effort drastically. So decision is now more and much more scientific than it was previously, because if you have lots of people going conducting those interviews, it becomes biased, in the sense that different people have different ways of looking at the same thing. But AI is a uniform method, right? And at the same time, so the quality improves drastically and the time reduces significantly. So on both hands, you have a significant advantage of how the talent acquisition process takes place. And similarly, in the employee development process, if you know the industry, the assessment industry works on cycles, and it takes numerous months before you have assessed everybody, created their development plans, and they get onto the development journeys. In the case of Converse AI, for example, we can actually do the whole succession and the development pathing and the career pathing in no time. So it is almost immediate. As soon as you attend a conversation with Converse AI, you're done. It takes an hour, and if all the people in the organization have done it, it creates a lot of quick focus on what employees in particular need to get developed on, what groups of people need to get developed on, and then visualize linking that to your learning and coaching. So it's almost like seamless. So significantly reduces time and makes HR leaders focus more on the content of development rather than just creating the context of development. So that's
Right.
how it really helps, and it is changing the game very, very quickly in both the acquisition and development space.
Right, right. What a beautiful example, sir. Very, very nice.
Yeah.
Nextly, why is it important to combine AI with human psychology, especially in hiring, coaching, or leadership development?
Yeah. Um, so I think humans, classically when we did analytics, so this is a very important point. Classically, when we did analytics, we analyzed people as data points. So, for example, just to tell you, performance as a data point, that my ranking on a performance scale was A, B, C, D, or E, or 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5. My competency score was 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So I was analyzing humans on data points, quantitative data points. But humans are not just data, right? Humans are a mix of emotionality, cognition. They are social beings, you know and psychology is about identifying the patterns and finding the meaning which each person is drawing from his or her own choice of career, choice of work, etc., etc. So now, and then we, of course, in analytics, we also did sentiment analysis, which was, again based on more quantitative approaches. But now, what AI helps us is to actually determine the behavior patterns. For example, Carl Rogers, who created the whole psychological framework for development and counseling many, many decades ago, the whole aspect is about empathy with the individual, with the person, the agency of the individual, and that being central to behavior change. Now with AI, I can actually do that. So AI, in the AI coach that we have, I can actually work on real behaviors, and I can work on those, on the motivation behind those behaviors, and therefore I can help both the coaches and coaches focus fundamentally on behavior shift. We're looking at the emotionality, cognition, and sociability of people, and the social context of people. rather than purely as data points. So this combination allows very different kind of unlocking of potential. It's not just skill matching anymore. You're unlocking the potential. You're helping the individuals grow and experience more wholesome wholesome potential of their own. So that's how things are changing. So the big shift is from data point to the humanization or human centric approaches or behavioral approaches, which are now possible with AI being available.
Wow. So do you think is it a boon or a threat to the society?
See, it's like a bomb. You can use things either ways, right?
Right.
So if you have energy, you can use it for the good of the society, for the bad of the society. For the bad of the society, it happened many years ago, even before generative AI came in. So the entire hacking of the votes in the West. In the West, there were lots of cases that were happening about 5 years and even 10 years ago, where they are trying to do a lot of stuff which is anti-democratic in a way, right? So, uh, so you can use things badly, but on an average, if I trust human beings, 70 out of 100 times they will use it for the good of people. There will still be bad elements who will use it for not such a good thing, but
Right.
or good outcomes for their own benefit.
To each its own.
But yeah, yeah, but I think to your point, it is therefore very important that we work on trust in the
Hmm.
systems. So ethical AI, trust in the AI, uh, explainability of AI, very important points these. So whatever I'm suggesting, I should be able to, whatever AI is saying on my behalf, for example, I should be able to explain that. So explainability of AI is a big subject matter. Ethical usage of AI is a big subject matter, and I think lots of governments and even as private organizations, naturally, because if you cannot play with careers of people, you cannot play with the uh, capabilities of people. So you have to be very careful how you're using some of these tools and techniques, and
Right.
that is why scientific approach always works best. You remain grounded in science, why in this case psychology and behavior science, while you're using AI.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, Swaraj. What
Yeah,
challenges does your industry face while using AI, and how do you think organizations can navigate them?
I think as I was saying earlier, the major challenges is explainability, data privacy, ethical use. This is the major challenge. So there on two ends there is a challenge. So one is this side where you have explainability and data privacy and ethical use of the techniques. On the other hand is the visualization of the use. You see, what is happening is because this whole paradigm is very new, a lot of times organizations are still married to the past. So now, for example, I'll give you I was talking to some of the industry leaders in a particular company. Uh, they are industry leaders in the sense that they have been ahead of the curve in implementing technology. But now, when we were conversing with them, we figured that they said that, okay, this is how we used to do in the past. We used to create these robotic process automations, etc., etc. Now we cannot do that anymore because these systems have become more cloud based. So the technology has moved. So I said that is where we need to shift our thinking to now agentic AI, and not just remain to process automation, because process automation is something seeded in the past. Now I will create agents which can, and I can create multiple agents for the same process, in different scenarios and different use cases. So I need to think agent, and I need to think differently of the solutions today. So one end is the solutions that are possible because of AI, and the capability augmentation that AI can do. And on the other hand, you have this making sure that you have explainability, data privacy, and ethical use cases. And the third, so this is the second. The third important thing is uh, AI fluency. How am I developing AI fluency across the roles? How am I developing the governance frameworks? How am I designing AI with human in the loop? You cannot completely automate something. So that's how we have that's what people are asking questions on, also facing challenges but trying to find answers. And navigation is in increased AI fluency, making sure that we are talking more and more about the different use cases, and at the same time making sure that data privacy concerns are taken care of. So a combination of these factors, and most organizations, I think, are becoming more and more aware about some of these things.
Right, right, absolutely, sir. Lastly, I would like to conclude the interview by asking you, how can companies help their employees get ready for a future with AI while maintaining a
Yeah,
balance between technology as well as the human element?
yeah, no, very, very interesting question. I get this question almost every day, because we also consult both in the HR and AI space with our clients. I think the biggest, I would say, when it comes to mass awareness or mass uh, of how AI can be used, I think it's more about a mindset shift. It's not a skill shift. Your skills can easily get augmented with AI. The moment you start using AI for analytics or AI for language, like in generative AI, or you start using AI in your workflows as your agents, it requires a mindset shift. It's not a skill shift. So skills will come in. Now, how do people start seeing AI as a collaborator, as a co-pilot? That is the important thing. So mindset shift is critical. And second thing is, how do I enable my employees to think AI first in the workflow? So workflows are set in the industry 20, 30, 50 years ago. So if you look at any function, those workflows were created ages back. Whether it is your finance systems or your procurement systems, the basic workflows that all industry follows, set in many, many decades ago, right? Now, how do I revisualize AI integrated workflows, where the whole thing is about assisting the assistance through AI? And then, of course, the third thing is, which was also one of your questions, how do I keep human values intact? Empathy and trust and inclusion, designed with behavior science rather than uh, you know plainly looking at it as a process. Some of those things we should start talking to employees about, but fundamentally about mindset shift. And I think that is the most urgent call of the moment.
Rightly said, sir. Rightly said. Wow. It was a very, very nice interaction with you to know about your views on AI, future with AI, and how do employees will be dealing it with it. It's a very broad and very positive approach of you. It was very nice to have a talk on this.
Thank you so much. It was nice interacting with you too, Comedy.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.